Hi guys, welcome to another point of view. Guess
Hey
who it
everybody!
is? Look, it's Mari-Lyn! Yay! Yes,
Been a hot minute.
I'm sweating here in the UK. Sweaty, sweaty, sweat. I feel very moist. Moist de jour. But
Well, you know, it's summer.
yes. But
It's
it's
summer.
lovely seeing you, Mari-Lyn, today. And we're doing
Yes.
a really fantastic video today. So
I hope so. I haven't going in blind, but I think it's going to be fabulous.
you'll be fine. Yeah.
I think it's going to be fabulous.
I mean,
Because what I've heard that it is I think this is in Wales. It's the Welsh version of the Amityville Horror,
yeah.
which is the last video you and I did together, which feels like
Yes.
eons ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know I've heard of this farm. I think it's a witch farm, but don't know much about it. I've just heard about it. So I know I think some doing that ghost hunters have been there before.
Okay.
But I haven't actually watched it, seen what it's about. So it's going to be, it's going to be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the video we're looking at today, oh, I've just lost it. Hang on, the video we're looking today, and I have to look on my phone here. It's the dark history, and I apologise anyone who's Welsh when I say this wrong. Heol Fanog's Witch Farm, Welsh Amityville Farm.
Okay.
So, yes, and this is by the Tape Library, and we've watched some Tape Library videos before. And they're very,
We have.
really good, really good.
Really enjoy them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Really
we've
enjoy them.
already created space.
Hmm?
Lovely. And
We
yes,
have.
so bring us.
Before we get started, I
Yes.
want to invite everybody to please like, subscribe, share, comment. We love your comments. And if you have a video that you want us to react to, a ghost point of view, please go to the website, use the contact us form, and send us the link, because you can't do that in comments. It will go, boop, it's gone.
Oh, wow.
So
I know some people have mentioned they're having that problem. So again,
Yep.
copy the links, put it in the message
Yep.
on our website. Correct.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So please and thank you. And we appreciate all of the interaction and all of the support.
Yeah. And don't forget, also, we don't just do point of view videos. We do healing, development, spiritual development. So if you're interested in that, go to the website and have a look.
Readings, Nathan's readings.
Oh, yes, my readings. And
Nathan's readings can be life-changing. I speak from personal experience,
oh, thank you.
life-changing.
Oh.
Because that last one you gave me where closure came up, I can't even tell you. It's
Thank
brilliant.
You. Oh, you're making me go red.
You're brilliant.
And then don't forget clearings.
And clearings, and we do clearings, yes.
Pam and Mari-Lyn did a clearing last week. Actually, it came out today, or a couple of days ago.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, when this comes out.
We're recording this on July 4th. No idea when it's going to come out, but our clearing, it did post this morning.
And it is fabulous. So it's the
good
old days. It's different, but it's really good. Really, really good. I was very impressed. So yes, if you have a clearing, jot us a message on our website and let us know. It doesn't matter how big, how small, we're there. We're there.
Clearings are free.
Yeah.
That's very important. Our clearings are free because everyone deserves to live peacefully in their own home. And if you have an earthbound spirit, they deserve to go home. They deserve to cross over to the higher realms. So clearings are free. Our other services, we charge. We are a business. So there is that.
But I mean, the free clearing is amazing, you know? And if you want it on the video, we can film it, so you can be on there. Or if you just want us to do it privately, that's not a problem. So it's a win-win-win. So
it is a win-win-win. all
So
the way
don't
around.
forget, we're there for you. So, and
Yes.
so
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So, you ready, Mari-Lyn?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. Let's go.
All right.
The feeling of being watched actually is more frightening than seeing things. If something's watching you, you're assuming that its next move is to do something.
That's so
It all
true.
started sometime in the late 80s, in Egypt. Bill Rich, his teenage son Lawrence, and his new partner Liz awoke early one morning to beat the rush of tourists. Lawrence had long dreamed of visiting Egypt and exploring the resting places of the pharaohs. Bill, who hadn't long begun a relationship with Liz, thought this would be the perfect opportunity for the pair to bond. Although it was early, the sun's heat was already scorching. They entered the pyramid of Cheops and were instantly hit with a wall of cold, dank air as they made their way through the darkened passageways, delving deeper inside. At this time, they were the only tourists venturing into the pyramid. Liz led the way and entered the burial chamber first. Almost instantly, she was greeted with a strange sight. She saw dozens of what looked like tiny lights dancing around the walls of the burial chamber, but seemingly no source from which this light was coming from. She mentioned the curious lights to Bill and Lawrence, but was shocked when neither one of them had any idea what she was talking about. They could see no lights, but both the boy and his father looked like they were frozen to the spot. While they couldn't see what Liz was seeing, the moment they entered the chamber, they were both hit with a crippling sense of unease. Liz asked what was wrong, to which Bill replied, "I don't know. I can feel something." To which Lawrence said the same. Moments passed in the cold, silent chamber, when suddenly all three of them felt something. It wasn't something tangible. Nothing had happened. But all three at the same time claimed they felt like a presence had entered the chamber and was now in there with them. This feeling was so strong it instantly hit all three with the fight or flight instinct, and they ran as fast as they could to get out of the pyramid. On its own, this incident...
What did you get?
I would have been so torn about, from what I felt, running and staying to really figure out what this was. I disagree with they said something suddenly joined them. No, you walked in and were exposed to another dimension that was running through
Yeah.
that pyramid is what I got.
It was like actually the other way around. Rather than them experience something, it was the spirit going, "What are you doing here?" You know,
yes, yes.
the other way around. You know, going. So
Yes.
the spirit's doing their stuff in the direction, and suddenly, who the bloody hell are you coming in? Oh my God! What's that? What's that? What's that? What?
Yes.
And actually, funnily enough, I got a bit of anxiety, and I didn't feel it was from the humans. I felt for straight away it was from the spirit.
That explains. Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with
That's
that.
quite funny.
And I really I couldn't tell in the moment what dimension it was that was being exposed. But it was just another dimension. I really couldn't tell.
It felt slices all together. So it was a different. It was like walking through. There's not one dimension. It was like walking through all different.
Right. So Pam will explain the dimensions as being stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
It almost feels like maybe it was
Wonky.
this way. The
Yeah.
dimensions
Yeah.
were lined up that way. Yeah, it was odd.
I wonder if that's because it was in the pyramid.
Very possible.
Because the pyramid, it had the point.
Because it's, and so maybe they were, who knows what happened to them? They're all like,
Have you ever been to Egypt?
I've not.
I have, and I mean, not only claustrophobia. God, everything's so tight, and you're down like this, and you're corny, like, and you go down and down and down and down, into the pyramid.
Wow.
And it is, oh my God, and it's so.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it.
The tombs are all right; they're not too bad, and they're updated. But it is, and it's not just knowing how tight it is. There is definitely something you feel that you haven't felt before because you're not used to the sensation
right
going through, and it's yeah, but it's quite interesting. Actually, I have to be honest, we were watching this to begin with, I was like, oh, have I put the wrong video on? We're now watching something from the Cairo thing, and I thought, oh, maybe put the wrong video on, but no, I haven't. So this is all.
I don't think so. No,
this is the story. Yeah,
this is yikes, my earring just fell off. All right, well, I'll just take the other one off.
Okay, I'll carry on.
All right.
Passed off as some sort of optical illusion, and the very natural feeling of fear while standing in what can be quite an unsettling environment. This was, after all, a tomb. But it's harder to dismiss as nothing when you know what comes next. Back in England, the incident was brushed off, and Liz and Bill's relationship began to flourish. They soon decided to get a home together, and were thrilled when they discovered a picturesque farmhouse in the middle of the Welsh countryside that fit their budget. Little did they know at the time, but this move would become the defining moment of their lives. They were about to enter a world of the unexplained. A world where reality itself.
So I'm sorry, I'm pausing.
Yeah.
Don't you find it strange, uncanny, that actually the husband and wife actually looked a bit like the two from the Amityville?
Yes. Yes.
Also what's uncanny, the Amityville people also had bought their house because suddenly it was cheap and it was affordable in their price range. And the same with this couple.
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Seemed to fray at the edges. This farm would be referred to as many names over the years. Hellfire Farm, the Witch Farm, even the Welsh Amityville. But they knew it at the time by its actual name, of Heol Fanog. This would be the place they would call home for the next several years, and the place they would soon regret ever stepping foot into. Shortly after getting married, Bill, Liz and Lawrence all moved into the farmhouse late in the summer of 1989, with Liz already heavily pregnant. When they first arrived at the property, they described an odd sensation. As soon as they stepped through the gate, they were hit with what felt like an odd atmospheric change. Like they had stepped into an invisible dome, a bubble, protecting their new home. They saw this as a positive. A sense of safety washed over them. It made the farm feel like a haven from the outside world, which was exactly what they were seeking. Heol Fanog is extremely isolated. The perfect place for a young family looking to start anew. And for Bill, who was a painter by trade, the perfect distraction-free environment for his creative work.
Sorry, I'm pausing again. I suddenly got false sense of security.
Absolutely. Trick. That's what I got.
Yeah, illusion.
Trick.
Illusion. Yes. Oh, we're all safe, all happy. Ha! Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I got was the boundary. Fearing the boundary was it feels like I don't know if it's spell, contain.
Could very well be.
Part of that bubble. Okay. Carry on, sorry.
Both Liz and Bill felt like they needed to be careful with Lawrence. They had uprooted the teenager from his home, and with a new stepmom in Liz, there was some degree of tension there. Although the pair apparently got on for the most part, with Liz claiming they almost acted like brother and sister. In October of that year, baby Ben was born, and once they got him home to Heol Fanog, they felt like they were finally ready to begin this new chapter of their lives. But just 1 month after this, it all began. Liz and Bill had just finished making love when Bill was hit with the pangs of guilt, asking Liz if they were too loud, mortified by the idea that his son may have heard them in the old farmhouse, where sound could obviously travel easily. Bill got up to go to the toilet as Liz began to feed Ben. He gently opened Lawrence's door to find him fast asleep. He walked downstairs to the toilet. While he stood there urinating, lost in his own thoughts, he was suddenly jolted back to reality when from the floor above him, he heard the loud crash of what sounded like someone in boots running around. This wasn't someone just creeping about. The sudden banging in the quiet of the night gave Bill quite a shock. Then came the feeling of guilt again. It must be Lawrence. He must have heard them after all. He returned to the bedroom only to discover that despite the sound coming from the same floor the bedrooms were on, Liz had no idea what Bill was talking about. She had just got the baby back to sleep and hadn't heard a thing. There is commonly a weird
You know me and my smells.
Yes.
I'm smelling urine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it smells.
I actually wondered if you were going to.
Yeah, it smells. I'm getting a really bad urine. Yeah. And did you get a hit?
So when they first showed, they talked about uprooting Lawrence. Was that his name? The teenager.
Yeah.
The hit I got was that he is ripe and vulnerable for attack, for manipulation, for everything.
Yeah.
Not to mention being a young teenager, many young teenagers are relatively open. So his vulnerability is scary.
Yeah.
I did feel, I believe it's a male earthy that was making those footprints.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if it's this male earthy, what type of influence he has on the teenager, because I feel like there is a strong influence. And he's also feeding that guilt.
Yeah.
Dad's guilt.
Yeah. I got the angst. It's like all the emotions in a jar, and it's like something's turning to try and get the it feels like that. Just waiting.
And
Yeah.
they're just kind of,
Yeah. And it's
kind of steeping out.
Also there is something behind the earthy. And I don't know if it's just the energy of the environment.
Okay.
But it's allowed.
All right. Well,
it feels like, okay, you have free reign. Go on. You have, and it's like has his job to do.
but don't forget to come back to me.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interconnectedness between paranormal phenomena and electricity. Electrical currents are often seemingly manipulated or even controlled in many instances. And this was very much the case in Heol Fanog. The morning following the incident with the footsteps, Bill was doing his very best to put it out of his mind. In the cold light of day, it all seemed silly, like it wasn't anything to be concerned over. But he would soon have another shock. He sat at their dining room table and opened their latest electricity bill. He was baffled to see they were being charged £750 for the quarter. This, for the time and size of their property, was an astronomical bill. There was no way they could be using that level of power for what amounted to a couple of appliances and lighting. This wasn't a one-off occurrence. The electricity company were charging the family similar amounts for the majority of the years they stayed in the home, leading a battle between the supplier and Bill. The electricity company sent out multiple technicians to try and find the source of the drain, but concluded that there was no fault with the line coming into the house. Therefore, the fault, if there was one, was the result of something inside the property, which meant it was the responsibility of the rich family.
I just got a feeling into that. I've got an image as if the house, and then there was like a lightning coming out and feeding into the pylons and the wires of the energy.
Okay.
So it was taking, something was taking the energy in, and it wasn't necessarily, didn't feel like it was necessarily being used for the actual house.
So I got a completely different visual, but I agree the energy is not being used. What I got was that somehow the machine was manipulated to just be freewheeling.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So,
and that's a nightmare. I mean, can you imagine if you live there now, especially with all the
oh my gosh, such a nightmare. Yeah. It's a very good example of how we get the same information, right? The energy is not really being used.
Yeah.
But yet we both interpreted, I wanted to say interpreted, that's my new word, interpreted the information very differently.
Yeah.
Which is a good point to make, that, two things exist at the same time. One single answer or vision or whatever isn't always absolute and right. But yeah, I just got that. It just got manipulated. It's free flowing. You saw it in a different way, but it's not going anywhere. It's just racking up the miles.
I don't know. I don't know if it is. I don't think it's going anywhere there.
Is it going somewhere else?
Yeah, but not
the house.
Not the house.
Okay. Sure, it could be going
Oh, it's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Oh well, whatever it is, it probably we might closer in the video maybe will for me
Maybe.
and get the what the energy is. It to me, it's like it's confusing me.
That might be part of the. Because that's a lot of energy, right? That's a lot of energy that you're looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe could be my ego trying to pinpoint where's it going. It's got to be going somewhere. Is it going into electricity? Is it going this? I said, hang on, just tell it away. It's just going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. Gosh.
Bill had all their appliances in the house tested and measured for their electrical usage. He turned off the power at times and had the place thoroughly checked over. But no one could find any reason as to why the house was drawing in such a huge amount of power. Bill even began a legal contest to the charges they were receiving. The situation with the electricity wouldn't improve until, well, we'll get to that later.
Dun, dun, dun.
On the same day the bill had arrived, Liz was upstairs feeding Ben, while Bill was downstairs making coffee. Lawrence had gone out. This time it was Liz who heard something strange. The loud slamming of doors in the upstairs of the house. Starting from the far end of the hall, she heard the sound of each door slam until it reached the shut bedroom door she was standing in. She was both terrified and baffled when she heard the bedroom door slam as well. But as she was looking at it, she realized the door did not move. Yet it still made the sound of someone violently slamming it. Bill came racing upstairs to find out what was going on, only to find his wife clutching their baby, terrified. The pair had a conversation downstairs in the kitchen about what had just happened, as well as the previous night, when this time they heard something together. Footsteps, once again on the upstairs landing. Quieter this time though, not the loud banging steps from the night before. They heard it, creeping along the landing above their heads. And then were both frozen with fear when they heard it.
Pause, please.
Sorry.
That's okay. This noise that they're hearing together feels very different to me. The slamming of the doors that she heard, I got that same earthy, I think it's an earthy, that he had heard above him. But in feeling into what they heard together that was out on the landing, energetically, it feels very different to me.
I thought, I don't know why I got growling. I don't think the growling is.
This could totally be my ego too, because they said, they mentioned that it was much softer, not as loud. But the first two felt like, I want you to know I am here. I want you to know I'm powerful.
Yeah.
This energy feels like, I want you to think I'm nothing. And it's way more than nothing.
See, I would have questioned him saying the walking. To me, I got as if dragging a chair, but very slowly stop, across the landing. So it was like you go,
that
questioning, what is that?
I can see that.
Really? And then nothing. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
And the level of intensity would be different. So quite heavy, and then next one, light.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. Question, what is that? But you're right in what you said. I can't remember. What was it? Oh, I'm nothing. Don't worry. So I'm just dragging the chair. Just wait for this. It's like, again, sort of illusion of what they think they're hearing, but actually it's something else.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Make its way to the stairs and begin to descend, one step at a time. Eventually, the sound reached the bottom step, but no one walks around the corner into the kitchen. Bill approached the doorway and quickly jumped out to look up the stairs. There was no one there. Much like the electricity draining, this was the first of many incidents of phantom footsteps. This would be a phenomena that the family would quickly grow used to and would be present throughout their entire time in the home. Just a few days later,
I can really empathize with that in terms of where you just at the beginning would hear things and you just go, oh, that's the piping, and later go, oh, that's not the piping, that was a door slamming. Because as a kid, we had a lot of stuff going on in our house.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
At the beginning you were like, oh, and eventually it just, oh yeah, that's just the coal spot. Yeah, we get that, and that moves. And did you just hear the door slam? Oh yeah, that happens in this house. And what? But it's freezing in here. But it's 30 degrees outside. Oh, I know. It's just it's just really cold. Always cold. Don't know why. You just through it.
Your brain makes sense of it, and you accept it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It becomes part of the routine in the house. The house routine. You don't until the next level of something really bad happens, and then you go, oh, it's part of that. But then question, is that right? I don't know. Oh no.
Yeah.
And it's sort of that false sense of security. It's really pulling you in and in.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill was met with the distinct smell of sulfur in the kitchen that would seemingly appear and disappear in an instant. Again, multiple people were called out to investigate the source of the smell, but no one ever found a source for it.
It wasn't urine, it was the sulfur.
The sulfur, is that what you were smelling?
But it's like, it wasn't really bad off eggs, but it had a sort of like urine-y type of slight off eggs. I can't explain it. But he said sulfur. I was like, I smelled that sulfur somewhere. Oh, I just did, just now. Yeah.
So, is it natural gas? Propane?
Strangely, I would say yes. But the flip side of it is like, no.
No? Okay.
It's not. It's the sulfur smell is natural.
Okay.
And it's coming from the earth.
From the earth. Okay.
From the earth, but it's being, what's this? Injected into the atmosphere from the earth. Is it me, or does the mother look disheveled?
I think they both look disheveled. I noticed that. He looks high.
She looks like she's been zapped.
Yeah. Comatose almost.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Gosh. Okay.
Through the various retellings of this story, Bill and Liz often suggested they began to think there was a curse, if not on themselves, on the place they now called home. Throughout the early months of 1990, this curse, as they called it, made itself known. Bill's work suddenly began to dry up. A once successful painter with many clients was having orders cancelled at the last minute with no explanation, and a continued lack of new customers getting in touch. The family's car battery would routinely drain for seemingly no reason. This, combined with the increasingly worrisome financial situation the Riches had quickly found themselves in, led to them selling their car, isolating them from the outside world further. Then there were the strange occurrences with the animals. The family had a pet dog, a cat and guinea pig, alongside a small handful of farmyard animals they kept on the property. All of them began to show signs of odd, almost psychotic behaviour. The goat gave birth to 2 kids and almost immediately crushed one of them. The pig picked up a disease and had to be shot. The family's dog started to act strangely before running away. The guinea pig was found dead in its cage, and the cat started routinely walking around in circles, unsettled by something. While as individual cases this might just feel normal for many pet owners, the fact that it all happened in such a short space of time is unusual. On top of all of this, Liz and Bill were constantly filled with the feeling that they were being watched at all times of the day. Like there was a presence with them inside their home. A presence they couldn't see but felt very real to them. A presence, much like they had experienced, deep in the dark chambers of that Egyptian pyramid.
I don't think they're related.
What, the Egyptian and the, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just a coincidence.
So, back at the pyramids, had the father and son been there alone, I don't believe that they would have had any, I mean, they may have felt some odd sensations and they would have chalked it up to being where they are.
Yeah.
She, I believe, was very open, and she perpetuated their fear.
Mm-hmm.
And opened them up to feeling more than they would have without her.
Yeah.
But no, this property, once again, they have walked into the situation. The situation didn't come to them. They have walked into it.
Yeah. And what it's doing as well, it's, I get this. Boom, 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 boom. So it's cutting off supply. It's, yeah, it's feels like it's entrapment, as it were.
I like that word.
Yeah.
That feeling that they had when they first went onto the property that felt like a safe haven. And you said that was no, that was, I think we both agreed that that was false. But the isolation of it was there regardless whether they ever came to it or not.
Yes. That
Yeah. But I really can't get a hold of what it is.
it's definitely, I think, feels there's something with the land.
I agree. I have to agree.
And it's older than us. But it's feels like it's definitely something with the land.
Okay, well, let's keep watching and see what happens.
She was just she's a conduit. You know, it's as you said, that open conduit.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, doesn't help matters. Bless them. Okay.
As for Lawrence, if he was experiencing anything similar, he wasn't telling Liz and Bill. Not that they were talking to him much anyway. Almost exactly when the apparent haunting started, Lawrence's behaviour took a drastic change for the worse. He had gone from being a kind, friendly boy to being cold and distant, storming through the house and barely interacting with his father or new stepmother. In an effort to let them make his own mark on his space, Bill gave him some money to paint his room. He stayed up until the early hours of the morning painting his room. When Bill and Liz went in there the next day, they discovered he had painted the entire room an oppressive and vivid blood red. He was increasingly rude and aggressive, would keep the pair up half the night banging around in his bedroom and watching horror movies at full volume all night. When Lawrence's grandmother came to visit, Lawrence once again entered the farmhouse and stormed past everyone to retreat back to his bedroom. His grandmother decided to have a word with him. Lawrence was on the stairs already when she asked him to stop. Lawrence shouted at his grandmother to get away from him, in a voice that Bill claims he did not recognize. When his grandmother attempted to speak again, Lawrence shouted at her to fuck off, in what is described as an almost demonic tone, and spat in her face, before storming upstairs. Lawrence would not leave his room for the remainder of the evening, but once again, Bill and Liz were left awake most of the night, with the sounds of Lawrence crashing around in his room and wailing at the top of his voice. But no matter what they tried, he would not unlock his door. The following morning, after he had gone out, they checked his room to discover he had punched holes in the wall and trashed his entire bedroom. It was at this point they began to reach out for help, contacting a local Catholic priest who came and blessed the house. And for a few days at least, it seemed to make a difference. But just 4 days later, Liz was returning home with baby Ben when she looked up at the house and saw the face of an old woman peering down at her from the window of Ben's nursery. Liz rushed into the house and up into the room, but no one was there. Again, this was not a one-off occurrence. The old woman was sighted not just by Bill and Liz over the years, but also by Ben and their soon-to-be-born daughter Rebecca, who
you said earlier the earthy was going
Yeah.
to cause havoc with the young boy or the
Yep.
teenager. Yeah, that really landed with what they were saying. So I get persuasion, intimidation, the talking in his head. Yeah, all that to escalate the energy,
Mm-hmm.
the violence.
I also got, he was never possessed. I don't feel he was ever possessed.
No.
However, periodically jumped for short periods of time to really keep him off balance.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that state of confusion and
Yep.
bewilderment and I get anger
Yeah.
more than anything else. Anger
Yeah.
at what this is happening and why and the confusion and yeah. They said they saw a woman. I think there was many different earthies that would venture.
Sure. I don't feel an old woman specifically. I think that was something else portraying as an old woman.
Mm.
Or it was a passerby. Because in a place like this, it wouldn't be unheard of to have lots of random
Yeah.
transients.
I don't know if it's, I'm not necessarily saying, I don't know, a portal, but I think there was some sort of doorway or doorways or something to go in and out.
I think there's probably multiple energy disturbances on this. I don't know how big their land
Yeah.
is, but there's a lot of land that there's not built up, right? So there was just all of this space. I think there were many energetic disturbances. And I agree, I don't want to use that word portal.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different disturbances that we don't even know about. You know, we come across different things all the time. So
yeah.
I don't want to put a label on it. And it's not really important.
It's like yeah, it feels like out of my comfort zone to actually know what they are. You know,
exactly.
It's like string theory. Explain string theory to me. What?
Right.
So it's the same thing, but something has opened. Opens. I don't know if it's back in the day or something with this land. I don't know what something was doing, or people were doing.
Yeah.
Something in the land attracts things to make things happen. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well, we'll find out more as we go.
Okay.
Recalled seeing her in their nursery. Chillingly, they simply assumed this was a memory of a family member or someone who used to care for them, not an apparition. At the very least, the old lady didn't seem to be the source of the negative energy the family was experiencing in the house. Liz often described her as looking sad, and she seemed to almost be watching over the children, keeping them safe.
It used to be the playroom, and there would always be this old woman in there. And she never spoke, she never moved. At that age, you just think it's normal. Like anything could happen around you, and you just assume that's normal, that's what people see. I don't think we told anyone about it. I think we just assumed that Mum and Dad must have seen her as well.
After some time in investigating into the history of the property, Liz began to realise that this woman was the spitting image of a woman who had lived in the house previously, before her death. Over the following months, the couple both sought the help of and were contacted by...
Interesting.
The image I got, I don't know if you've seen the Harry Potter films, but it's in the Hallows, the last film, and the old lady in this house, she was going through and she wasn't saying anything, she was stum, but later on she was this guy, she changed herself into a snake and tried to attack Harry Potter and that. I got that this is what this was. So the image of the woman was just an image.
Just an image.
Just an image, yeah. And it wasn't a true woman, as it were. So it was sort of the disguise, and this is how, yeah. Again, to
agree.
And then go, oh, okay, it's only the old woman. She was really nice before. Oh, she's probably well, they wouldn't say earthly. Oh, the spirit of her, she's all right. She's okay. It's the force, you know. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
By a whole host of people from the world of spirituality. Mediums, spiritualist church members, and even exorcists all made a trip to Heol Fanog to try and uncover the mystery of what was happening there and try to help the family. Various claims were made by the spiritualists about what was taking place in the house, including the spirits of 7 witches being present in the area. It's worth noting that the Brecon Beacons do have an extensive history of witchcraft. Others claim that the farm lay on top of a series of dark ley lines that might be responsible for attracting dark energies to the home. along with the suggestion that the farm was in fact built on a Celtic burial ground. Others claim that there were in fact 4 spirits residing within the farmhouse. 2 young men, an older woman, and something that appeared to hide its true identity. Something that was seemingly attached to Bill. One of the spiritualists who visited the house became massively concerned about the negative effect the home was having on Lawrence. And after much soul-searching, Bill decided for the safety of his son that he needed to take this seriously. He might not understand it. He might not fully believe all the wild claims that are being thrown at him. But what he knew for certain is that since he moved into this house, Lawrence had become a different person. He reluctantly sent the boy away to boarding school. Lawrence was understandably furious with his father's decision, but seemingly, it worked. Almost immediately after leaving Heol Fanog, Lawrence returned to being the positive young man he was before he arrived, and over time, he rebuilt his relationship with both his father and Liz. Out of all the children, Lawrence was seemingly the one most affected by the events that happened within Heol Fanog, and interestingly, is the one who is most reluctant to talk about it publicly. Meanwhile, whatever was affecting the Rich's animals appeared to be spreading throughout the local area. Multiple lambs and calves were born either blind or deformed. The locals were well aware of what was going on up at Heol Fanog at this point, and had even been in touch with the Riches to inform them that similar strange occurrences had happened there for years now, which led Liz to uncovering an extremely strange story from a local plumber. The toilet in the building had seemingly become loose from the floor. Liz contacted a plumber, but upon investigation, the toilet was fine, like something had moved it and then placed it back. The plumber tells Liz this is not his first encounter with the farmhouse. Back in the 1960s, he had installed radiators for the woman who lived there. Even during this first visit, the plumber's apprentice got a bad feeling from the place and refused to be left alone there. The plumber installed the radiators, and after a long day's work returned home. The following morning he was awoken by a phone call from the woman at the farm. She had woken up to discover that all the radiators had been removed from the walls. Unsure how this was possible, the plumber returned and reattached them all. The next day he received a call. It happened again. This happened again and again and again, with the plumber returning every day to try and put things right. He has never been able to explain how it happened. He wasn't the only local contractor to get in touch.
Did you get a hit, Mari-Lyn?
I am getting so much information. I was leaning into the land and the ley lines and I don't even know how to put this into words. So I don't even understand ley lines that much. I've never read up on them. I only know what I get spiritually from spirit as to what they are. But what I saw was the way that the land is under the surface, that the electricity, the water, anything that causes movement causes, okay, this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, pain. It causes pain. It creates such a disturbance And there are creatures that feed off of that disturbance.
I just got feeding into it. Yeah. Yeah, feed.
It's quite an odd phenomenon that I was seeing in my brain. It was jolting, that first image that I got. I stopped hearing the man talking on the video. It was so bizarre. Interesting.
I agree with you. I feel there's layers and different things feeding into that, each layer of what you were saying, the energy and the interesting.
And it's almost like the layers of the earth are crossing they're crossing each other, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten crunched, and it needs to be healed and smoothed out and stretched and allowed to heal.
Do you get that that's a natural way that it's done it, or unnatural?
I am leaning towards unnatural.
I think something has caused that to happen. And
it feels old.
Yes.
Old.
Well, druid old.
Maybe, yeah.
Even AD. No, before Christ, BC.
BC, possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It does feel old, though.
Yeah, I agree. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Holy smokes, we're barely halfway through this.
That many of the farms in that area had their own burial plots back in the old days, and that in fact, parts of Heol Fanog had been built from the stone from old forgotten graves that were damaged in the area. Another neighbour reached out to the couple. Knowing Bill was a painter, they asked if he would be happy to paint their prized horse. A chance that, due to his business issues, Bill jumped at. He painted the horse standing proudly in a nearby field. But for some reason, Bill could not get one of its back legs to look right. He tried his best, but for some reason he just couldn't get it to look normal. Eventually he finished it as best he could and took it up to his neighbour's house. He found his neighbour in quite a state. It appears the horse had broken its leg, and the man had been forced to shoot it. Once he looked at the painting, the man's face went pale. The leg that Bill had struggled with was the same leg the horse broke. The field he painted it in was the same field the horse had been shot in. The spot it was standing was the same spot it was now buried. Shaken to his core and now fully believing what others had said about the curse, the man burnt the painting. Each time a new investigator or spiritualist would come to the home and try to bless it, things would inevitably calm down. But each time it would seemingly only work for a short while, and then the activity would flare up again.
Makes sense.
About a year into living there, Liz began seeing someone outside the farm, standing in the garden partially covered by trees. She would glance up and see this person just calmly standing there, observing. But Liz never got a good look at that person, and they were always gone when she went out to them. By this point, Liz was heavily pregnant again, this time with their daughter Rebecca. And Rebecca's arrival seemed to bring about more sightings of the sad old woman in the house. The entire family was worn down, exhausted, confused. They had no idea what was happening or how to stop it. Their requests to move to the local council were met with no help. Just after Christmas in 1990, Liz saw something that pushed her over the edge. Standing there in her house was a 7-foot-tall shadowy figure with a strangely shaped head. This apparition, more than any other, made Liz's blood run cold, and she sensed the feeling of benevolent evil. She then decided she had to get her family out of the house. The family retreated to Liz's mother's house. While there, the couple got in touch with more religious leaders in the hope that someone could help. And whilst not being strictly religious before, the pair turned to Christianity as a potential way out of the hell they now found themselves in. While the strange activity didn't seem to follow them to such an extreme degree, there were a couple of strange incidents to note during their time at Liz's mother's. Puddles of water damage began to appear in the home, but with seemingly no sign of a leak. Most interestingly, Liz's mother found a pendant in her home that looked to be Egyptian in origin. Assuming it was Liz's, she returned it to her, only for Liz to be equally perplexed. She had never seen it before either. When Bill picked up the pendant, he was hit with what he described as an electric shock and dropped it. Deeply troubled by this, Bill destroyed the pendant.
I don't think that pendant was Egyptian. I think it was just if we had something on there that looked like Egyptian. If
Sure.
and obviously, I'm getting confused. Obviously, them moving around, as you know, it's not. It doesn't necessarily mean that your activity will just be contained in that house. There's many people have had clearings and stuff, have moved on. It's sometimes followed them, or it's
could follow them, or they could just be carrying the energy of it.
Yes.
And that shit happens.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw this out there, Nathan. That 7-foot tall alien is what she saw. Not an apparition. Alien. Other planet being.
Ooh. And that lands because Wales is well known for I was going to say OAP. Extraterrestrials is well known.
That was the word I was looking for, and it was not coming to me.
Well, I
didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
I just said OAP.
That's what I'm getting about the land.
Yes.
Extraterrestrial activity hurt the land. I don't know that it was malicious. I don't think it was malicious. It could have been. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I have to stop with I think, because that allows my ego to come in. From the information I'm getting, I am led to believe that the majority of what's happened stemmed from extraterrestrial activity. Yes, there are earthies. Yes, I believe there something else, some other creature, multidimensional, maybe of the earth, I don't know, was on that property, in that house. Extraterrestrial is part of the deal. And I can't believe I am going there, but I'm going there
And we don't know, because in terms of extraterrestrials, we don't know that what sort of things they're into or what they used to do or the magic or, you know, and
Yeah. I don't know. And that's one of those areas that I try to stay away from because it just blows my mind.
yeah.
And yet I got the information so solidly that I can't refute it. I can't ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah. The energy. So it was taking the energy, taking it elsewhere.
Mm.
They harnessed, attracting the energy in these alien beings
Could be.
way back, and that's why it sort of buggered up the land and the lines and everything else.
Yeah.
And that sort of doorway is still open there, if you know what I mean. So it can come. It's sort of.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Because time has no relevance to it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh.
Yeah.
We're nearly there.
Okay.
The family returned to Heol Fanog, this time bringing along a Baptist minister,
Gosh.
David Holmwood, and self-proclaimed former Satanist, Anita Dick. On two separate occasions when Holmwood and Dick drove to the farm, birds crashed into their windscreen while they were driving. During his time in the home, Bill's paintings had gone from happy and serene to dark and oppressive. Holmwood believed that certain objects within the home may be feeding the energy within, and he made Liz and Bill burn a whole host of their belongings, including a number of books that Bill had collected over the years on spiritualism and occultism, and most notably, a painting Bill had been working on, one that contained the image of an all-seeing eye. Liz experienced one of her most unsettling incidents around this time. She kept finding herself being awoken by the sound of the cat making odd noises, somewhere between a snoring sound and a purr. One night she heard it coming from under her bed. She threw a pillow underneath to disturb the cat, but it didn't stop the noise. Liz got up and realised the sound wasn't coming from underneath the bed. It was coming from the window. What's more, she realised that it isn't the sound of a cat. It's deeper, more guttural, more vicious sounding. But as she approached the window, the sound grew quiet. She flung open the curtains, and the sound stopped. There was nothing there. The sound continued to be heard by Liz, causing her many sleepless nights in the following weeks, and she was never able to identify the source. After that incident, Bill started to paint what he described as his masterpiece, a painting of a giant glowing crucifix that he called Testimony. The name would be taken by the journalist Mark Chadbourne for his book on the Heol Fanog case. I highly recommend checking that out if you want to delve deeper. It contains first-hand interviews with a lot of the people involved and has been an invaluable resource in creating this episode of the tape library. The burning of the objects and the work of Holmwood saw the farm experience its first prolonged period of peace since the Riches moved in. Throughout 1992, they lived in relative calm, unbothered by the strange occurrences. Liz would sometimes see figures out in the garden, but they were like shadows on the periphery of her vision. They would vanish the moment she looked at them. The electricity meter, however, kept ticking along, Whatever was in Heol Fanog wasn't gone. It was just resting. Then 1993 came, and with it the discovery that once again Liz was pregnant. Just like clockwork, the activity ramped up again. After months of relative calm, Bill was alone peeling carrots, when in the corner of his eye he saw someone. Thinking it was Liz, he turned to see a woman standing there in his kitchen. She was beautiful, staring at him blankly. She didn't say a word, but turned and walked away. Bill described a feeling of extreme temptation, like she was trying to make him follow her, but he fought against the impulse. Bill began to be plagued by nightmares about Egypt. Specifically, he had dreams about a large figure with a bird head that resembled the Egyptian deity Horus. But then, those nightmares bled into reality. They witnessed the same figure, standing in their kitchen at night. Liz realized that this was the shadowy figure she saw back in the winter of 1990 that made her want to leave the house. Next, an exorcist by the name of Dr. John Aston got involved in the case. He spent months in the home praying and performing rituals with the couple. Once again, this seemed to calm the activity, but like a pendulum, it swang into moments of calm, only for the activity to return with a growing vengeance. Over the years, many explanations for the source of the haunting were discovered, with a number of murders and executions taking place nearby, with one local resident telling Bill that one of these murders happened on the grounds of Heol Fanog. It was in late 1993 that a man by the name of Eddie Burks got involved. He had recently risen to a certain level of fame within the paranormal community after seemingly exercising coups, also known as the Queen's Bank, of an apparent headless spectre. Over the next year, Burks made several visits to the house. He claimed to see multiple spirits with his psychic abilities, but that, as others had suggested before, there was something darker residing in the home. This was around the time that Bill had his most disturbing experience with whatever was happening in their house. He found himself sat at his kitchen table late one night when he noticed the large kitchen knife had been left there. Not the sort of thing that either himself or Liz would normally do with small children running around. Bill found his mind racing with dark thoughts when he looked at the knife. Thoughts of death, of violence, of suicide. A chill ran down Bill's spine and he put the knife away in the drawer. He turned back to the table. There, sitting exactly where it was a moment ago, was the knife again. This was the moment he realized that something in this house wanted to harm him. Luckily, Eddie Burks returned again to perform another exorcism on the house. This managed to greatly calm the activity yet again, but the couple continued to witness a whole host of apparitions of people, although they mostly now seemed to be appearing in the garden. There was still the feeling, although more diminished, that something was still in their house. Just over a year later, in the summer of 1995, a final battle was waged for Heol Fanog. Eddie Burks returned with two paranormal investigators. Regular tape library listeners will recognise one of them as Maurice Gross, the lead investigator of the Enfield hauntings. Burks claimed he had identified what the dark presence in the home was. He believed that it was of an ancient and evil pagan entity that at some point in history was welcomed onto the land by someone who did not know what they were doing. Burks once again performed an exorcism, and seemingly, with the increased focus on one specific entity, it was finally successful. For the first time in years, the energy bill the Riches next received dropped, and then it dropped with each subsequent bill until it was below the average for that area. Whatever you believe, something had happened that had stopped the constant electrical anomalies. The paranormal activity that the Riches witnessed gradually became less and less. It didn't stop overnight, but it appeared its power and intensity had greatly been diminished. And most notably, they felt a sense that something in the air had been lifted. That feeling of a bubble they described when they first moved in was gone. Eddie Burks did have one final message for Bill and Liz though. He told them that while the darker presence in the home was the cause of a lot of the disturbing phenomena they had witnessed, it was just a part of the rich paranormal tapestry that was Heol Fanog. He told them that the farm appeared to be a place of great energy, a place that, specifically within their garden, lost spirits would gravitate towards as a way to cross over to the other side. Whether this is true or not, Bill and Liz continue to see apparitions of people throughout their remaining time in Heol Fanog. And just as Eddie had said, they were mostly spotted in the garden, but it didn't fill them with the same fear they had experienced over the past few years. It was lighter, and more positive air filled the home. And once again, Heol Fanog was restored to be in the beautiful, picturesque location they had fallen in love with. I've wanted to cover this case for a while, but I've kept putting it off. There's just so much to go over that I hope I've been able to do it justice here.
So when they talked at the end about the entity, I don't remember what they called it, but that it was invited by someone who didn't know what they were doing, the hit I got was that whatever the extraterrestrial that was present, there was a coming together. Mm. And it feels like it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I also got a feeling of, like when you're in the woods and you put on your lamp, nice lamp where you're camping, and all the flies, choo, 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 choo.
Yeah.
The property was that, and it was attracting lost spirits that had actually crossed over. Well, what also, as they were going to the house, the darker energy in the house took the spirit's energy. I don't think it took it, but it seemed to
sure.
It was. I don't think they weren't like lost, or it took them somewhere else. I don't know what, but it seems like something there was gaining that negative energy. And
I could believe that.
When they were doing the blessings all the time and it subdued, it was like a release, and then it built up again. So whatever the released the spirits that obviously went back. It seems to have got back. But yeah, so where they feel that there's something with the land that does attract, but this time they're able to go there and then pass on. Wow, I want to go there. And
that was bizarre. That was bizarre. Yes. That was really bizarre.
Yeah.
Not at all surprising that they talked about the son being sent away and emerging back as himself. Not surprising at all.
Yeah.
Also not surprising that he didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, of course.
Because he went from normal into adolescence, which is so abnormal, into this chaotic, horrific,
crazy man, young man,
energetic foobar.
Yeah.
Back to his normal self. The children that were born into it It's not surprising to me that they were they affected? Sure. But not as grotesquely. I don't think.
I think they were like new batteries adding into the house. So every time
Right, where
a child was suddenly more
where Lawrence was like a foundational battery. He was like
yeah.
or kid.
Gosh.
Dang.
I think also they were saying things, or rest of the things with other animals in the land, neighbouring lands. I think that part of that I think was coincidence, but I think also because they're these, I don't know, they're not ley lines, I don't know what they were, but did cause issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that energetic disturbance, if an animal is predisposed to a condition, doesn't mean they're going to get it, but with that energetic disturbance, that increases its potential of that, just like with humans. We all have our weak spots,
and also that energy was going outer world. Outer world. Wow.
That was crazy. That was bizarre. And I can understand
how much we got. I'm how much we got from just this one video.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you actually are reading the energy of the place. Because the video was just a catalyst for us. We're reading the energy of the place, right?
Yeah.
It's not surprising that they called it a witch farm. I never felt anything. I kind of wanted to at the beginning. Early on, I kind of wanted to go to, was there witchcraft? Were there spells? And when I got that hit of extraterrestrial, that ended that curiosity right there.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, it was using, when you said that, it felt like it was using its own sort of magic.
Exactly.
Which is, well,
yeah,
that would just blow your mind. It could just be like, I don't know, a phone, I don't know, connecting things,
yeah.
But yes, it was very, very interesting, very interesting. And what a wonderful video to do with you this time. And I hope you viewers, you really enjoyed it.
I hope so. Please. If I ever go to Wales, that has been on my bucket list. I kind of doubt that will come to fruition in my lifetime.
Well, we have
this lifetime.
We have to win the lottery.
But if I do, oh my gosh, I'd love to go to this.
All the old places.
To this area.
And because it's all.
But if you ever make it there, because you are so much closer than I am. I need to be on FaceTime with you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, or Zoom.
I'll put that on one of my bucket lists. We'll get that done. We'll do that. Get it done.
That would be
amazing. And anyone has any comments, or if you're from the UK and you've been to this farm, let us know and what you.
Oh
think.
Yeah.
And anyone else who's read the book, The Testimony. So if you've read it, let us know your thoughts and what you thought. It'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Nathan.
No, thank you, Mari-Lyn. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. Guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.